Hey, welcome to Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Today we're continuing the transition from winter to spring gardening. I'm going to give you an update about my seedlings. Let's go look at those. Yeah, so I had jury duty the other day, and I went down to the courthouse, City of Houston. You know, you could do worse things with your time. Jury duty is something that if I was sued or if I was brought into trial for something, I would want people on that jury that were willing to be there and not there begrudgingly or didn't take their duty lightly. Nobody likes jury duty, but it's something that we get to do. And so I was down there for a civil case, and HOA was suing a bunch of homeowners, and they were, yeah, if I got on that case, man, I'm predisposed to not like HOAs. I think they do more harm than good. But you know, I didn't get chosen because I was vocal. It took 2 days to pick us out though, so I was down in Houston for 2 days and I didn't get some gardening done. I didn't get the things I needed done in a timely manner. In my transition from winter gardening to spring gardening, my dates are kind of getting shifted around, but that's okay because there's wiggle room. So today I'm going to pot up some of my peppers and some of my tomatoes because they need to be moved up. I've only got 2 or 3 weeks before they're going to actually go out into the garden. But in that 2 or 3 weeks, I need them to get some health on them because I made some mistakes. Let me show you. All right, so here's the bad news. Most of my tomato plants are damaged. And the reason they're damaged, not all of them, but some of them they're all stressed. And this is the worst of the 2 trays. The other tray I've already up potted and saved the best. These are going to be saved today. But you can see some of the plants don't have damage on the new growth. So what happened was these new trays, they sit flush on the bottom of the watering tray, and when you water from the bottom, water doesn't get in there real easily. So I put some dowels underneath to help to lift them up, and then they absorb water readily. Well, I think I overwatered. This you can see there's algae that's grown on top of some of the soil in there. That's dry algae, that gray color. And so it really stressed these plants. Now the peppers did much better, but you can see they're a little stressed as well. I'm really disappointed that some of these dwarfs and micro dwarfs were harmed, but yeah, you know, that's gardening. All right, I'm going to start potting. Okay, let me talk about these PropTech trays. Look at these trays. It's got 162 cells. It's hard. You could drive your truck over this. The problem is getting these plants out of here. You can't just, they're too tender and too young to just pull the stem and pop the plant out, so you have to take a dowel and go up from the bottom. Man, I love these trays in terms of their size and the options that they give you, but man, they're proving to be a hassle to work with. They'll last me forever. That's good. I don't have to keep buying the cheap Jiffy kind, but I might use more Jiffy because you can just squeeze the bottom of those and they pop right out. Please forgive my sorry looking plants, but what I'm doing is just taking a dowel into the hole in the bottom, if you can find the hole, and just popping that right up, just like so. This is a dwarf yellow dwarf, Sean's yellow dwarf. Yeah, they all look like they could recover okay, but the ones that don't look like they're going to make it, you know what, they're going to compost. I hate to do that, but that's why you plant so many seeds. That's why we start so many seeds. That's not too bad. Poor little guy. All right, I've got my selections here, so I'll start potting these guys up. Simple matter of taking one, shoving him in there, packing it in. All right. That's all there is to potting up a tomato plant. All right, Sean's yellow dwarf. I'm going to label each and every one of these so I don't get them confused. It's going to rain, and I want my seedlings, my tomato seedlings and pepper seedlings, I want them outdoors now, starting to get used to the day-night cycle, and I want them to get used to the temperatures, but I want them to be protected. We're going to get some rain tonight, and I don't want them to be beat down. And so I built this little, I put a tarp over my hoops here. That'll just keep the rain off of them, and tomorrow when the rain stops I can come and start hardening them off, letting them get some sunlight, letting them experience life. They look kind of sad down in there right now because they're stressed out from being potted up, but they'll perk up. They will most certainly perk up. And I've got some more to do. We only got a few pepper plants left to pot up into these peat pots. We'll put them in this tray and let them acclimatize to living outdoors underneath that shelter over there, at least when it rains, and I'll take them in and out, like I said, to harden them off. But yeah, pepper plants, man. Got some good varieties here this year. All right, what do we have next? Dieguito jalapeno. I like this. This is a gnarly looking jalapeno, but these guys, I've got several kinds of jalapenos this year. These guys are going to be delicious, I hope. This one's too little to consider. Well, he just popped right out of there. Ooh, that one feels nice and sturdy. This is one I'm going to keep. That's a for sure. Ooh, that's a nice one too. Now these are a little bit dry, so I'm just going to moisten them. The root system, that feels very strong. These are some strong plants. These stems are like wood already. Got two of them there. The sad part of starting seeds, in my opinion, is I have 9 different cells that I planted. So I've got 9 plants of each variety. I'm only going to keep 2 of them in the end in my garden. Two plants of each variety, and all the rest of them, well, I only have room to put maybe 4 or 5 of them in my trays for potting up, and so some of these have to go right now today. I don't have room for them. I don't have any place to put them. I don't have lights to put them under. It's too cold really to pot them out and put them outdoors. I could try some of them, but that's kind of sad to me. But in the end, I have to remember, I'll put them in the compost pile and I'll make use of them that way. That's a perfectly legit way to make use of your seedlings. And so the ones I don't use here today, I'm going to put them in my compost pile and I'll use them as nutrients to my soil in the future. And so it's not a waste, although it seems kind of brutal. I feel like a communist dictator or a socialist coming in here and causing everybody havoc. But, you know, that's gardening. The other benefit, though, of planting lots of seeds is that you get to choose the plants that you feel are the best, and that's how we select strong plants and strong and grow strong vegetables with good seed. Is you're selecting out the weak ones and selecting the good ones to move ahead. So it's guided selection. It's not natural selection. Natural selection is more brutal than guided selection, but hey, that's what you get when you garden. Now, if you're wondering if I should just put them out somewhere and take the risk, I've already done that with a lot of my tomatoes. I've plugged in little tomato seedlings that were destined for compost. I've plugged them in here and there around my garden in various containers just in case they take off. Okay, I couldn't take it. Check this out. I had this old recycle container. It's not doing anything. It's just sitting around. So I thought I would take some of my peppers and a tomato or two that didn't make the cut and just put them in some soil and see what happens. They're going to have a rough time of it, but we'll see what goes and what doesn't. Worth chancing, huh? What I'm going to do is water these in with a mild solution of fish emulsion. That should give these stressed out plants, which I overwatered, a little bit of nutrition to bump back real quick. That fish emulsion is filled with nitrogen. What do we have next? We've got cayenne pepper. Now I need my cayenne pepper. So let's get some cayenne out of here. What are the seagulls doing coming in? That storm must be blowing quicker than I thought. What? You smell that? You smell that fish emulsion? You stay out of there. No. Yeah, I know. You'll just go in the other way, won't you? Stay out. So all these will stay under here, at least tonight. It's gonna rain. I want them outdoors, and I have a question for you. I am going to experience 40 degrees, and not tonight, but the next night. You think these guys will be okay? It's not gonna frost, but I want to leave them outside. I think I'm gonna risk it. What do you think? Leave me a comment below. You think these little tomato transplants can manage 40 degrees at night? I think they can. Here are my marigolds. Almost every single one of them came up, and I'm gonna have to thin those. I only had about 50% success with the nasturtiums. The dwarf jewels didn't come up at all. The Bloody Mary, half of them came up. These other Bloody Marys, about half. And these dwarf jewels back here, just 2 of them came up. So I'll have some of each variety. These the orchid creams came up really well there, but that one only 1. So yeah, we're looking at a pretty bad rate. That's all right. First time with those, it's okay. Here is my single seed challenge. Look at that guy. In fact, let's get a closer look at him. This is Black Beauty. Black Beauty was sown when? On the 27th of January. Today is February 20th, I think, or 19. But anyway, that's how big it is. Look at that. It's a nice, healthy plant. That's probably my most healthy tomato of all of them I'm growing. That's real exciting. This tomato will be put out in a couple of weeks outdoors. I'll start hardening it off along with the others. I'm going to keep it under the lights though for a little while. Under these lights, things dry out quickly. I like to keep things nice and watered. This one I like to really baby and pamper because that's my single seed challenge, you know. Gotta make sure it doesn't get stressed out. What we've got here are some tomatillos, some squash, and some eggplant. These guys are coming up just fine. Squash is impressive. I love to see those first leaves come up like that. Got some just poking out. Onions are looking great. I'm surprised by these onions. They're very tall. What's that, 18 inches? That is an 18-inch long onion. Now, these are bulbing onions, but you can trim the tops off as you need them and treat them as spring onions. All of this has to come out soon because my new garden's going in. Look at all that lettuce. This is a good butter crunch lettuce. Makes a real nice meal. Wonderful stuff. I love this. Beets. This is one of the most beautiful kales I've ever seen. Look at that. Awesome. I did get one of 3 elderberry bushes that I'm going to grow. This is an Adams elderberry, and I will keep this in a pot for a while. I don't know where I'm going to put these, but I need to put them in the ground permanently. And they'll be somewhere in the front yard, but for now I'm going to keep them in a pot like this. Get them a good start. I've got 2 more coming. I don't remember. I think they're called Black Beauty, but I'm not entirely sure. With elderberries, they need to cross-pollinate to have maximum fruit production. So I need 2 different varieties, and so that's variety number 1. Got that at Hertz Gardens on Amazon. Hertz Gardens I bought from them. In fact, some of these figs are from Hertz Gardens. But yeah, elderberries, we need some. Eager little guy, huh? Look at that. Wonderful figs. I've never had this variety. This one was new last year. I got that from Christian at Tinkerbug Figs. So the garden is winding down from fall. I've got some cabbages that need to be harvested, and I've already harvested a lot of my cabbage. You can see there's gaps. I have harvested all my cauliflower, which was over there. I have harvested Chinese cabbages, other cabbages, lots of beets, lots of turnips. And I discovered my dog inside the anti-dog fence and she couldn't get out. I don't know how she got under there. I guess she nosed her way in. But she trampled down my beets when I found her out here, and she panicked because she knew she was in trouble. But yeah, that's all that needs to come out next couple of weeks, so I'll make good use of that. That's future sauerkraut. I don't know what to do with the Chinese cabbage, but we'll find something to do with it. Yeah, future sauerkraut, slaw. Yeah, this is my extension, and I plugged these lettuces in here, and something's been gnawing on that one, but that's some romaine. I don't expect that to make it because I need that space soon. And over there I've got some, is that pak choi? Pak choi, bok choy, they're the same plant actually, but yeah, those are looking like the snails have found them. Hey, thanks for joining us today on Black Gumbo Southern Gardening. Like us on Instagram and follow us on Facebook, and subscribe to our channel if you haven't done so already. It's really a wonderful thing to see all the subscriptions, and we're so humbled you watch our channel. Hey, happy gardening to you, and talk to you next time. Bye-bye.